programming some generative art slash cybernetic animal organism world game simulation thing. This is the Braitenberg vehicles. I am starting with the first one of them. So, short intro maybe into what are these vehicles. This is an exercise in fictional science, or science fiction, if you like that better. Not for amusement, science fiction in the service of science, or just science. If you agree that fiction is part of it, always was and always will be, as long as our brains are only minuscule fragments of the universe, much too small to hold all the facts of the world, but not too idle to speculate about them. This is the opening of the book. Braitenberg himself. He was a neuroanatomist, was like one of the first German cyberneticians, started a thing in Tübingen called Animal Cybernetic Institute or something, which still exists and is called Institute for Biological Intelligence or something. So he's sort of a big deal in the history of cybernetics. And the book is sort of a legendary thing in the field. You also stumble across this if you go into any kind of psychology, theoretical psychology. I came from it from cognitive neuroscience or whatever. You stumble across this because everybody loves these. And what it is a tiny book where he has a few thought experiments, and he's a neuroanatomist, so he was thinking from animal architecture, how the animal brain is wired up, and he came up with these little abstract representations that he calls vehicles or cards in the book, and basically they have sensors and motors and the body, and they sort of react to some environment, so the sensor reacts to light, for example, and then depending on how it is wired up, while you read the book, he asks you to imagine these things, and they basically become alive in your head, and you never lose track of how they actually work. So this is amazing little theoretical behavioral science kind of exercise. It's really one of a kind thing, and then he has these, and then they get more complicated as their wiring in their brains become more complicated. And he's sort of discussing this thing, for example, in biology is called diffusion, that you have wiring crossing from the sensor to the input in the brain, and he's sort of making some hypotheses about why it would be the case. And I'm gonna go through the book and simulate those, yes. So, here's my humble beginnings. This is chapter 1. So, I'm gonna open the book. Experiments in synthetic psychology. It's sort of theoretical psychology kind of space. There's not that much on this kind of level of reasoning where you take the mechanics of how behavior might work and you make hypotheses on abstract terms, which is another important point. He mentions it here. Get used to the way of thinking in which the hardware of the realization of an idea is less important than the idea itself. Norbert Wiener was emphatic about this when he formulated the title of his famous book, Cybernetics, or Control in Communication in Animals and Machines. So cybernetics is always about control systems in the abstract, never about animals or machines specifically, right? And this is also basically where the power of the computer comes from. I would say that the von Neumann architecture is in terms of an abstract machine, and now you could go and implement it in a machine. So the power of abstraction again, and the cybernetic people are big on this. So Braitenberg is talking about some abstract machine-like thingies. This is the very first one, vehicle 1, getting around. So it has one sensor, and one motor and one body, and this is more or less modeling the way some bacteria work. They have flagella and sensors, and then they usually discern that they have two modes of moving around. One is that they tumble and they move sort of in a random direction, and one is that they move forward. So wherever they happen to point to right now you move forward. This one doesn't tumble. He asks us to imagine the sensor and this motor and then to add some Brownian motion to the mix. So if I would just imagine the sensor and the motor is inactive, then I add some Brownian motion to this thing, so it sort of would find a new place as well, because else it would just get stuck, right? So this is what I'm gonna try to build right now. And from my dabblings in quil, I have a little bit of foundation where I have some entities. I have like some entity scheme where whenever I create an entity, I'm gonna give it a UID, spawn time. Then I'm drawing entities polymorphic on their kind. I have some stuff that I can give them a lifetime. Here I also have a Brownian motion. A little bit of a limb. And now I was thinking about how I make a body, and I sort of started to implement components to an entity. So components is a list of sub-entities that stay attached. And then if I did it right, then if I just start out with some velocity, it doesn't work at all. Would I breaking it with this? No. Alright, let the hacking commence. Can I go back to when I add a line that list part 1 is the function that returns a list of entities. So that one is the body. Maybe I should call this body. Why did I not call this body? Yeah, body. Body has components, motors and sensors, which actually don't matter so much. I'm just gonna call it body here for now, so I'm less confused. And now it's broken because I'm guessing when I say so yeah, here's the function that supports these sub-entities. I'm taking the parent position and the relative position of the sub-entity, and then I calculate a new position for the sub-entity. And the sub-entities work by having an anchor, which I explicitly wrote here, these helper sum types. Yeah, it's an enum basically that I support, bottom, middle, and so on. Motor is a rectangle entity that is also a motor, and then it has an anchor. Right now I'm just hard coding it for the moment. And then when line is in the mix, then I'm not drawing those. Because there's an error. No, no this. And then save. Yeah, okay. It's because I don't have a transform for this line. So yeah, I was thinking it would be cool if I also just draw the lines at least for the beginning. Let's see. Later on they have a lot of sensors and motors or whatever. So, but for this first one, so I have a sensor which is when it's drawing again. The sensor is a circle, the motor is this rect, and the body is yeah. So he has it a bit more narrow. I think while I'm here I can make it a bit taller. Still getting used to my new keywords. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. Hey, yeah. I don't have this little eye thingy that reminds you of some kinds of animals that have like stalk eyes, like some snails have this. I just have a circle there. I'm fine with that. Yeah, this is my look. Maybe I make it a little bit not as tall. Okay, yeah, this is my look, I think. Maybe I make the motor a bit bigger. The motor can be a bit bigger. Yeah, maybe 35. Okay, that's good. Okay, now for the line. Okay, I was thinking, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I also draw the line? Yeah, okay, that would be cool, yeah. So, okay, I'm making a sensor which is an entity, motor is an entity, then I make a connection line with entity A, entity B, and then that also needs connection line, entity line. Do I break? No, I don't break anything. I'm gonna just always assume you want the post of entity A. Post. 1 sec. I'm gonna make names. So I already have names. I'm gonna make names for this position, so I can say position entity R, transform position entity R, and then this height doesn't have any effect for lines, and scale also not. And then connection line has a transform by default, and color as well. Yeah, color. I'm also gonna take the color by default from entity A. Yeah, okay. I think this makes sense. It's cool. This is connection line entity now. Maybe it's able to be drawn. That doesn't have an error, but it also doesn't. Does it? Maybe I'm gonna give this a color. I'm not sure if it draws in the same color right now. No. So I'm not adding it here. Okay, error. Core, CLJ. So I'm invoking lib line. Okay, got to lib line number 128 line x n plus r division n plus. Okay, let me say n plus is the position. Entity B. no error, but no line either yet. Draw a line, x, y, and plus stroke, scale doesn't matter. Print every n milliseconds. I figured out that function. Every 200 milliseconds print. That is 0. That's a bit suspicious. Transform, post-transform, line. Transform. That's a typo. 0. Transform. Okay, that's good. Position entity A. Doesn't really matter so much, because I should update it every frame anyway. No, I want to name a thing with right, weight, width and height. No, that should be 0. No, that, yeah, okay, but, maybe it's, it's 0, yeah, okay. I'm going to say connection line, that's something I have in the spouse service thing. Update con line, ask and transform, and then it takes the entities, and assumes that the state, what does it do with the state, entity pos. I'm gonna copy these functions, put them into lib, and then I'm gonna, in my getting around Braitenberg Vehicle sketch, I'm gonna update this. Update rotation, update position, yeah, okay, and then we can con lines, update con line, update entity, one number of arguments, that's true. I need to pass in the state. Don't think I get around that. Okay. Yeah, this. What did I do? I only need this like that, yeah. And then here I'm passing in the state. Entity and state. Okay, invalid entity at lib. With slow queue line, that was P1, P2. Invalid arity 0, that's strange. Am I trying to call it with 0? Because everything is nil or something? Print every millis. Nil, no, it's not nil. Entities by ID, get ID, yeah. Transform post, that not always works. Position, state, entities by ID. Didn't work. With con line, okay, that already works. And then? I'm gonna print it out. Maybe I understand what happens. We never go into update con line. How come? What do we? Every n milliseconds. Doesn't work if you only have one frame. That happens. Entity A is the circle, but entity pos. No. Dual entity state. Setup. I have some entities. So entities by ID, entities by ID, sounds correct to me, get ID. It's a circle with some ID, sounds correct to me. I'm gonna try def state, and entity A. So I have some entities here. One is a circle. Yeah, should be that one. Should be good. Entity A is circle. Entity A is. I wonder if that is supposed to be. Yeah, that's supposed to be. Okay. That was supposed to be not an entity but an ID. I should have set here ID. And here's where. Okay, now I have this black. Oh, it's actually kind of. That's fine. That's fine for me. I can even make it even more, almost like a Braitenberg Vehicle if I make the sensor go out a little bit further. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? I can make everything go out a little bit further if I say, if I make this factor a little bit higher. Yeah. Oh, it's the only thing that's missing is that it's not a semi-circle sort of now. I leave it. I also think I go back to. Oh, this is cute. Okay, it's kind of compact. It's more compact than it probably is. Maybe I'm gonna make the sensors slightly smaller. Smaller. No, never mind. I'm going back to this. Okay. Oh, it's so compact. Ah. Okay. If you squint, it looks like a human right now, but not for long. Not for long. I'm gonna make a commit. Okay, at least I can always draw one statically. Okay, now so I have two main things. So Braitenberg asks us to imagine this thing moving around in a pond. So I'm going to simulate a pond on this canvas to start with. And he says, imagine there's areas of temperature and cool areas and hot areas. And the sensor goes hot with either of those, whatever. In cybernetics, it's easy to change the sign of some input. So it doesn't really matter if that is active in hot or active in cold or whatever. These things are like, yeah, not part of the abstract idea of this sensor. We just call it temperature to have a little bit of fleshed out imagination for it. So I have a function called temperature, which takes a position in the environment. So for each position I can calculate what temperature it has right now, but I need to implement this function in some useful way with saying there's fields of temperature or something, which I don't have this yet. And then imagine I would have this law, then I can implement a sensor by saying temperature sensor, so I'm defining a temperature sensor calculating function, taking a sensor in environment. It just takes the current temperature at this spot where it is positioned, and this temperature I'm gonna update the sensor signal strength, possibly with some factor called sensitivity. So yeah, it's gonna update its signal strength depending on the temperature it's measuring. Signal strength is also called activation. So I'm modeling neurophysiology in this way. Motors have activation, sensors have activation. In neurophysiology, the activation would now be encoded in the rate of firing of action potentials, but my activation is literally just a number. It's allowed to be anything. Maybe it's probably something around 1 or something, but in principle it would be open-ended to do like times 1,000 or something, and have this number be 1,000 or whatever. And later on, you might imagine more neurons or submodules or something in the brain of the vehicle. And these submodules, neurons, would also have an activation, so yeah, you could make inhibitory connections as well. So a connection is right now an edge between two activation entities of activation. I call them A, B, and then there's a function which is the transduce signal function. And yeah, you might by default say, I'm just saying identity by default, so it's literally a one-to-one connection. If the sensor is 10, the motor will be at 10, and so on. And yeah, you might have a different kind of function here where you say times -1, and no, it's an inhibitory connection, for example. Then it would be if this neuron or sensor is active, then this thing gets updated to be less active. So this one is excitatory, unless it has negative activation, which I actually also allow right now. It's not too crazy, because in neurophysiology you could also have some neurons that are less than on baseline electrified. Their membrane potential might be even less, or you might imagine neuromodulators and whatever, like lowering the base rate of potential activation. So it's in principle to me not wrong to have negative activation. I think that's valid. So if you have a negative activation, you by default you also negative activate your connections. But yeah, I might flip this around with times -1, right? And yeah, transduce signal takes this function, takes the activation from entity A and updates the activation from entity B. So that's Yes, it says plus. It says plus. Yeah. So later on, I might also have multiple neurons going to the same motor or something, and they might like then accumulate, for example. And then some of them might have inhibitory connections by having this f of them outputting some negative value. But yeah, this is basically what the connection is allowed to do. It's allowed to decide. Yeah, like the other thing to do would be to say that the connection is say 10 times more weighted or something, which also models neurophysiology again, because you can have some synapse with like more than one presynaptic synapses, and it also depends sort of in complex ways on the position where a synapse is on the postsynaptic axon. It depends. If that is closer to the axon hill, for example, it will have a stronger connection. So like you can have multiple synaptic inputs to one neuron, but one of them is 10 times more important, or things like this. So these kinds of things are, and it's part of the we call it Pitts neuron as well, I think, that the connections are weighted. Okay, so all this comes from this function f. You could also call transduce function or something. So transduce signals is a function that takes a state and connections. I'm not doing that yet. Yeah, indeed. Let's think about this, because this already doesn't make some sense. Yes, transduce signals takes the state, and then it takes the entities, the state, and filters. Yeah, connection? I didn't call it like this. How am I calling it? Right now just say connection line. Yeah, that's true. Wait, there's a connection. And then, I'm not using that yet. That's true. I was occupied with drawing the line, and then forget about my data model of the line. There's the line. Okay, so connection line, that's the view of the thing that draws this line, but how am I calling these connections? How does he call it? Controlled by the sensor, motion is always forward. This vehicle, the connection, goes a connection as well. Okay, so a connection, this is the connection graph kind of entity, connection info, connection makes sense to me. Entity is a connection, I want to have yeah, this more abstract model thing as a separate concept. Connection model. And then connection. That is there better be some entities that okay, I'm calling this I don't know yet how useful it is. Color red didn't work, by the way. Okay, it's a connection line, so we draw it in some way. And then it has a connection model. It's a connection. Yeah. Entity A and entity B. Okay, and then you could also make F. Later on you can make F. Line, yeah, line is a connection. Okay, now this color stuff works, so I barely see it. Or maybe it did work, maybe this red idea did work. Maybe I can make the sensor, I can make... Oh, it just said red. Now I get why it didn't work. Zero is red. Not enough arguments. Oh. Food. Color. That's how it works though, I think. S color. Makes it cyan. Oh, that's white. But the sensor is supposed to be purple. I guess the activation is 0. Yeah. Activate why? What? Are they red now? No. 220 is cyan though. It's not red. I'm sure this is... Yeah. should be red. Ah, maybe I'm not drawing the colors. No, I'm drawing the colors. Draw the background. When not hidden, draw color. Ah, 0 is like this really cyan. Okay. I thought 0 was red. Oh, what this does like, actually it's kind of cute. It changes the saturation, I feel like, instead of the hue. Hue, saturation, brightness. Draw color, lid draw color. I'm calling it, coercing it here too. So what's this? White. Okay. Oh, yeah. I get it. Now I get it. I didn't set the color space. That's why. That's why this was basically something red. Red or something. Color mode. Yes. Okay. I'm setting the color mode to and set up. Okay. No. No, it's red and whatever. I don't want this to be red though. I actually like this. The slightly less saturated cyan was kind of cute, I think. And this red is... That's really not how I imagine these things to look like. Rather go with white or something. God, I guess I can delete this. Oh, okay. So what's 100? Ah. That's... Sensor is a hue color. That has an effect on the line. But it doesn't have an effect on this circle, because I have another place where I can't harness this. That's not here. So we can draw in. Okay, now everything is orange. Maybe I give it a, yeah, just start off with something. Oh, this is okay. And maybe the sensor is somewhere. Oh, maybe the count was, the count 30 is okay. Yes, and they become orange because they have 0 activation. And, oh yeah, I decided to I thought it would be really cute to see activated entities shining in some way, but right now they just look orange. I guess it's they just become 0. Okay. Right? I'm for shit. I'm for shit. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. For shit. I was just starting to think I'm for shit because this number doesn't look like it's 0. So why? No, since it's cyan. Okay. And the motor doesn't have a color. So I'm gonna make it what? Wait. Oh yeah, just make the motor red and the sensor cyan for now. Yeah. Okay. Now start moving around. I'm gonna make a colors. I also figured out the connection line, I suppose. Connection has a connection model. Yes, so I can transduce the signals. Give me all the entities that are connection, then I'm gonna say connection A, I just call it connection A. Let's what's connection model A. Shots. Okay, and So these are entities by their start. Then I have here an entity lookup table. Update all the entities. If the entity is the start, is somewhere a start, then take this connection. Give me entity 2. Is it coming? Call it AB. Presynaptic, postsynaptic, or ChatGPT has an idea. Sender and receiver. In communication, it's called sender and receiver. I'm gonna try again for prompting it. Controllers and actuators. Sensor and effector, sure, I will have to do the code. Nodes and agents. Yeah, sender and receiver is cool, I think. I don't know. Connection, sender, connection, receiver. Okay. Receiver, did I just correct? No, receiver. Okay. B, connection model B. Okay. Connection, sender, by. Now, sender and receiver is also a little bit like they're talking with radio or something. Any show that's communication theory kind of terms, I suppose. It's like the connection start, connection end, or the generator and the receiver. Sender's a bit strange because I'm modeling sort of organisms. But presynaptic, I also really don't want to call it presynaptic. Input, output, source and destination. I like this way better than sender and receiver. Okay. Producer, consumer, emitter, listener, controller, controlled, client, server, master, slave. I'm gonna take source and destination. I like this a lot. It doesn't really have any connotations of which one is more important or anything like that. Some of these have a little bit the connotation that the emitter or the source is somehow more important, which is, I think, a limitation in thinking about it. That is unnecessary. So source and destination both sound really important. I like this. And then, connection model. Okay, transduce signal. Entity. Transduce signals should output a new entity, right? Yeah, it updates entity B. Leaves entity A alone. Yeah, I'm making a mistake. Because I swap the entities right now, so I would just get rid of all the entity A's and have copies of entity B's. Like this, it's just messy. I'm accidentally returning entity B in a place where I want to update entity A, but this also doesn't make sense. So I need it the other way around. I need to say connection by destination. Okay, so give me all connection destinations in a lookup. Now I update all the entities, and sometimes it's a destination for something, so then I want to look at the source. So I'm gonna make it more explicit maybe. Oh, it's really super explicit. Every single concept has a name right now. There's a connection entity, and then iflet. Wait, that's not how iflet works. I think it doesn't have multiple bindings. Source. Okay, it's connection source. Yeah, that's. I'm wondering it's the same as entity A, entity B here in connection line already. Now, that's fine. These things are. I didn't figure for this. They are actual entities, which doesn't make so much sense because the entities get updated all the time. So it's like, yeah, I need the IDs. Makes more sense, and then I can. They get updated. It means that if I put in the actual entity here, I will just have the initial entity immutable data structure in there. So it's not so useful, except for looking up the ID. So I might as well make it explicit. Only give you the ID. So that's yeah. Source ID. So give me the source and yes, then end looks source. Yeah. So now A is the destination. and then transduce the signal with a transduction model, connection model, yeah, connection model, okay, and update entity B. It's typing here destination and source, so that I can know what I'm talking about. Say source and update the destination, please. Okay, so here I'm putting in the destination. Okay, yeah. Now this activation would spread through. I guess because view, it's cool to see it. Okay, red, so no activation. That's kind of cool, I guess. Now I don't have that transduce signals. Oh wait, transduce signals is in the update state. Transduce signals. Okay. Let's see if the sensor already has an activation. So anything? I'm not sure. Oh, that what? So there's an error. Invalid error 2 getting around transduce signals. Yeah, there's a map missing here. At the com. Oh wait. What's that? Comp filter connection. Aha. Somewhere still print, which I'm gonna move. Okay. Now I'm not sure if this does anything. I'm gonna move it here. Then the activation shine. Yeah, that would be that would be really nice to see that doing something. That would be so cute. And then I also said I'm having an activation decay. Yeah, every frame I'm gonna go to 0, and I also support negative activation. So I say update the sensors, okay. If sensor entity, update sensor entity as entity. So why doesn't that sensor have any activation? Activation 8.7. Yeah, that's something. It has 8.7 activation. Maybe I'm gonna say whatever, I'm just gonna for the moment try I think 360 is the max. Almost. Okay, 360. I'm gonna say here. Oh shit. One day I'm gonna be good. This. Something like that. Oh. But yeah, this tells me that there's already quite some activation going on. Maybe this can be slower. Okay, I like where this is going. I'm just playing around and getting my completely own aesthetics of the swing, I think, just by doing it. However, it made sense to me. Okay, this thing is sort of blinking. It's on red right now. So it's getting quite some activation, this motor. Maybe it's too confusing that I said signal strength and activation are synonymous. It's too confusing. Activation, okay. Vigor, map vigor. Yeah, vigorous. Activation. A motor might also have some kind of signal strength or like a effectivity, something like that. So, but yeah, you can also make this by a second neuron in between the connections, or make the connection stronger or something. Okay, signal strength activation. This is in this case maybe even the confusing thing. I'm gonna click them. Okay, so now the motor is still not doing anything. Oh, I guess no. Update body, updates the velocity with the activation of the effectors of the card. Yeah, sounds like. Oh. 0. Okay. Map activation of effectors. Effector is a list with. So that is the book. Card effectors. Yeah, I'm gonna say if not cards, then leave it and else do the stuff. And then I'm printing the motor right now, I think. Color 0 though, so it's color 0, so it's strange. Doesn't the motor update the color? But it's this. I recognize the motor here for sure. Activation 0, that's wrong. Okay, so why does it even flicker with? When I update the state, I first ask a new tick, then I update all the entities. Then I say transduce signals. So the next frame it should have some activation going. But yeah, activation shine. Why does the sensor have no activation? Or does it? If activation, then print the activation. So I should see two kinds of numbers now on screen. One for the sensor, one for the sensor is 8.7 and the motor is going up and up really fast, yeah, because it goes up by 8 each frame, which is like really a lot. So then it makes this. Ah, okay, now the sensor also looks like something. Okay, okay. So that actually, yeah, it would be nice if the activation is something, some low number, like lower than 10, so that yeah, maybe even times 15 or something would make sense here. That's of course now, yeah, the motor is activated by 8, 7 every frame, so that's like a lot. But still, I want to make the card move. But still, it's 0. Why is it 0? Because this thing has an activation of 0, which is wrong. Map activation of the effectors. Am I? Oh, yeah, no. So yeah, okay. Say here motors, and then just with the entity, obviously. This is just the initial entity and always stays the same. Then of course that makes sense. So yeah, this of course needs to be a list of IDs. Yeah, how is this supposed to look? The card has a list of motors, yeah. Could also take the components, filter for motor. Take the components, filter for motor. Take the motors. The function effectors can be for the moment I filter for motor. Yeah. So and then I need to say look this up in the state. Of course. Yeah, everybody it's state. Yeah, effectors is a function. Give me the motors of the entity and then map entity by ID from the state. Okay, now effectors is a list of entities and it's the updated entities. And now this thing is slipping away. No, not yet. If it does, there's nothing. I need to call entity by ID, map entity by ID, filter mode, or can do that like that, yeah. I think so, yeah. Okay. No, it's just moving away because I made it crazy fast. The acceleration, the activation of this is 1,000, something like that. It's like, yeah, it's a high number. I probably want something small. I'm gonna add a sensitivity to the sensor. I'm gonna say that temp. Yeah, temp should be. Okay, I'm just gonna play around and say temp is just 0.1 for the moment. Okay, no, it's. Oop, okay, goodbye. Okay, there it goes. And because it sort of stays together with itself. Does it stay coherent? The line is lagging behind. The fuck? How come? Yeah, this is sort of just moving. No, it doesn't move. What the fuck? And now it moves or what? If I have yeah, because of this activation decay, yeah, that puts it back to 0. So yeah, the temperature, okay, so the temperature is always this, so yeah, no, because it would just not do anything, because I guess it's yeah, okay. Yeah, it moves away in some linear way, and then it's just gone. It's not linear, it's accelerating, it's accumulating velocity, yeah. Okay, well, the idea would be now that it's the temperature is different. So yeah, okay, I mean, this was the idea that give me something. Yeah, this is the kind of thing where ChatGPT is amazing, I have to say. I mean, this is the kind of stuff a year ago you would not have thought to have this kind of coding thing in your thing. Normalized value, yeah. Okay. Sensor pos, env pos, yeah. Okay, instead of passing in the env pos, I'm just saying that env pos is sort of I'm gonna say 500 or something. That's like then the hottest point is somewhere here or something like that. I think that's like 500 or something. Maybe I can quickly make a little circle. Yes, I can make a circle by saying cut. And then entity circle, I'm gonna just say 500. Yes, make this transform has a position, and then with height scale and color. Colors this red again. Temp. So see there. That didn't work. Entities. Okay, I don't see that. Down there it is. Down there it is, okay. Maybe it can be put further up. Okay. So this would be the point of highest temperature, and everything else is something between. So here's 1, and that's something with less than 1. It's activated by temperature, yeah. So it moves more if it's in the vicinity of this, which is like, that's actually the vehicle number 1, yeah. I'm gonna flip this, the logic for a sec, so that it tries to, it's slower when it's closer, yeah, okay. Can I do that? I have a sensor position, normalize. Just give me inf. I'm ignoring env for the moment though. Okay, and then here I say, I'm just gonna say this so it always moves around, and then 1. Okay, 1 is, it's moving around really fast. It's actually moving around really fast in this way. Yeah, it will still just move around from the screen right now. Okay. Okay, so right now it spawns, it's really fast in one direction, it moves from the screen and it's gone. One thing later on I want to make it smaller. Okay, so one problem is just it's way too fast. The activation is too high. I'm gonna try to say more activation decay that not only makes minus, that doesn't help that much. Times sign. I'm also saying times 0.9, so okay, that's a little bit slower now. Oh, this. Oh. Just so strange. I forget, I don't know what these are called. No, this one doesn't have that. No, okay. Looks like the line is lagging behind, I'm not entirely sure why. And it has these artifacts. I'm not sure what this is either. I bet there's a name for that. You have like a line, you see like a line. Is that because it draws the first half and then updates and draws the second half or something? Okay, this is for sure, this is already quite a bit slower. Okay, you could of course increase this effect even more. This gets faster when it's closer to the temp. Okay, and then I'm gonna put in this Brownian motion here. So right now it's gonna make it go random. With -1 and 1, I'm gonna show how crazy that will be, and that's if cards. I'm not gonna put the Brownian motion onto the sensors. I think no, that doesn't make sense. If not cards, then turn it as to the Brownian motion. Ah, whoa. Okay, it's rotating quite a bit now. That's holy shit. Yeah, now it's rotating more and more. We see that. I already saw something like this earlier today. Would be kind of funny if it comes back because I think sometimes they do. So kind of danced around. I'm not sure if I do the rotation right everywhere. Oh, the motor, for example, doesn't rotate in the same way. So yeah, that's true. It doesn't crumble like. I had the idea that maybe it finds this temperature thing. I have to say. Did I? But I didn't flip this, I guess. I said nowadays temp. Oh, sensitivity -1. Now the activation is negative. With more temp, yeah. I don't think that makes sense. I need to say temp divided by 1 or something. 1 divided by temp or something. Does this make sense? I don't know, maybe I should say 1 minus temp. It flips it. I think. Okay, the way it's presenting itself right now, it's very. It's like a puppet where the pieces are not really put together in the right way or something. It looks like I actually have like these 3 pieces and it's not made of one, and now it's rotating on itself and then moving, making bigger and bigger rotate circles or something, and piecing out from the screen. At least it's so smooth, I have to say. I think it doesn't like chitter or anything like that. Oh man, I wonder if it's easier to make just circles and have all the sensors and motors virtual. I can make this a bit smaller. Oh, no, there's no. tries to jiggle around and moves in one direction, sort of. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at today. Alright, back to vehicle number 1, getting around. So I figured out a few things, fixing the rotation of this motor, for example, and fixing the rotation so that I can walk you through what I did. So if I don't have Brownian motion, yeah, the motor now has the correct rotation. And if I would say give it a velocity, for instance by hacking the effectors here, quickly saying, imagine there's one effector with an activation of something. No, it would, yeah, boop. Oh yeah. Wait, it moves forward. Like what I would interpret as forward. If I change the rotation like yesterday, then it still moves forward instead of sideways, and this. Yeah, it's now rotated 90 degrees, and that's forward to me. Because that's something you need to figure out. To not accidentally move it counterclockwise, and it's easy to accidentally have 90 degrees mix-ups. So I needed to swap sine and cosine here, I think, or something like that. And then I'm updating the rotation of all the components based on the parent, and it turned out great. And then I introduced angular acceleration here. Because what was really ugly is this effect. Does this turn out? No. I don't have Brownian motion, and it also moves quite quick. So add this back. Yeah. It's rotating quite a bit, and also sort of in really strange directions. Yeah, but it already is a little bit of a small animal, I think, or bacterium, the way it's moving around there. Well, this makes the effect even more intense. Yeah, even like this, you get this jitter. Yeah, and that's an aesthetic that I didn't like at all. And so it turns out, okay, so here I'm very, very naive. I would say I disregard Newton, and there's some kind of force, bigger thing that directly influences the velocity. It turns out if you add this acceleration concept in between the velocity and you start making the movement smooth. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but it's somehow the power of having a layer of indirection, and then somehow, I don't know, time comes into the calculation, and then it makes it smooth. It's an interesting concept. Now it doesn't chitter anymore. It's still a bit clunky, this thing, but that works. For the velocity, somehow this doesn't matter right now for me. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna add an acceleration as well, but not right now. Now it's moving across here, also of the screen. It gets faster and faster, I think. So yeah, there's some things to figure out. So the next thing I want to do is that the motor can be in the position of the motor matters for how it's rotating the thing. When the left motor is active, it should rotate it clockwise, preferably somehow, and the other way around. So yeah, I wonder if I'm gonna comment out the Brownian motion. Now it moves a little forward. I'm also gonna comment this part out, so it's static for the moment, and that. Whoops. Oh, no, okay. So yeah, angular velocity, but now I want to modify the angular acceleration. Yeah, the angular acceleration, it's updated a little, and it doesn't do anything because I added I'm decaying the acceleration as well here. So every frame I say minus 0.1. So let's say here plus 0.1, I'm not gonna get anything. Oh yeah, no, it starts rotating and gets quicker and quicker. It makes sense. Yeah. If I would now stop accelerating, it should at some point get slower again. I guess now the number is so high. I'm gonna. Okay, now it starts. Does it stop? No, because yeah, it should. Ah, wait, should it? Yeah. Okay. Spin the wheel. So yeah, if the acceleration stops, it also stops the going quicker. So yeah, that would be the go now that it somehow decides to move around when that thing is active, the sensor. Okay, but I want to figure out, okay, this thing is right now moving clockwise, okay. So positive numbers mean clockwise movement. and that thing is like a radian thing. Or here it's actually radians per second acceleration. Yeah, that makes it really quick. Okay, so you modify this, and then it depends on which motors are active. And here I was thinking something along the lines of, yeah, maybe this is good enough. A motor is left, right, middle. So it would start rotating in this clockwise way if the motor is pos. I said pos. Except that every motor has a pos. It's a bit I also have this. It makes me wonder. I should. I'm asking ChatGPT. Oh wait. And this. Based on their maps anchor positions to direction. Rotational influence. Yeah, maybe it's right. I'm just gonna have a second. Yeah, look up here. Top. Yeah, and I'll just ignore a motor on the top, so they can move into the other direction. I'm not gonna think about this for the moment. I only think about motors at the bottom. Okay, anchor, what influence? Okay, and then I'm gonna say, yeah, the motor already has an anchor, I think. Yes, and I'm gonna change this whole thing and say anchor, and activation doesn't make any sense. Delete anchor here, say anchor. Okay, so motor has an anchor, that was already the way it worked. And it's, for card number 1, it's bottom middle. Yeah. And I'm not gonna care about pos, but I'm gonna care about anchor, and I'm gonna say, give me, ignore this part, and I take my second lookup. Here, what influence, yeah, that's it. It all makes sense to me. Left, although I think that's flipped right now. I think that should be like that. Angular, and let's update the angular acceleration now. This one doesn't have a pos, but an anchor. Bottom middle, okay, yeah. No, it's not doing anything because it's 0. What am I doing wrong? Anchor. Card update angular acceleration plus reduce the effectors. Why does it never go into this function? Because effectors is in an empty list, but it's not. Did I? Oh, why is that? Trying out little things until I'm not confused anymore. Ah, okay, now I get why print every whatever milliseconds actually cancels itself. Okay, so this is bottom, middle indeed, and if I say bottom, middle, then that is 0. Ah yeah, 0. True. That's what I want. If there's only the middle motor going, it goes straight in a line, so it shouldn't affect rotation. And bottom right, for example, let's try bottom right. Imagine that motor is bottom right, then that doesn't change. Angular acceleration. Is that a negative number? No, it's good, it should be. Say plus, minus 0, minus 1. For example, would not do anything. Okay. Plus 1. Yeah. So negative doesn't do anything because update rotation takes the angular acceleration times dt. It's negative. Oh, I'm cancelling out velocity to 0. Wait, velocity? No. Angular velocity is allowed to be negative. It should be. Because, but I'm saying 0. It's wrong somehow. Angular velocity and acceleration should go. Let's make this trick with making this a tool. Print this. Or 0. Velocity is 0, acceleration is 0 shouldn't be. Angular acceleration. Am I accidentally... Is the friction already making it? So yeah. In friction I say the acceleration, but the angular... Yeah, no, that's not all. I removed this along negative values here, and yeah, I have added, I decided that it's an invariant instance and that the velocity is not negative. I mean, sure, you could have a velocity in the other direction, but I'm not modeling that for the moment. It sounds easier. Yeah, you could say, that's the motor going the other way. So you might also imagine an animal moving backwards. So it's not too crazy, but I just think maybe it's going to be easier without negative velocity for the moment. Okay, now these get really large numbers. That's correct. Okay, so that goes into the other direction, right? It goes. Oh, so quick. Let's help. I think it goes in the other direction. That is. Why is it so quick? I'm surprised. It's so quick. It almost doesn't matter. Does it matter? That comes from somewhere else. From down motion? No. Oh, here I say -1. Yeah, okay. Okay, I need to take the absolute into account. The absolute. Yeah, I need to assign velocity and then the new velocity. Yeah, velocity. The new velocity is something like that. Taking the ups of the velocity and then this I don't know yet. Yeah, but something like that. Yes, no, it doesn't move at all. Deleting this line and then this. Oh, ooh. Oh my god, it's going back and forth like crazy. How come? It looks as if every frame it decides to go somehow in the other direction. I'm guessing I fuck up with the friction. The friction is... I'm gonna not think about this. Accumulative. Okay. This is interesting. It's like an immersion, the episodic movement. I say velocity minus... Okay, this friction is a little bit silly because... So, yeah, this is the whole point why it goes back and forth like this so crazy. I don't even need... Like, this part doesn't even do anything to contribute to this. Oh, the fuck. I guess it needs a little bit. It's just 0. Ups velocity -1 times sine. Oh, can sine be 0? Oh, okay, that's why. Times 0 then. It's actually a bit strange. I'm gonna make it... If x is greater equal, I don't need this else anymore. It was a bit strange that sine is 0. Anyway, this makes this rotation, which is obviously retarded. Like the friction shouldn't make you have a rotation, so max 0, right? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it doesn't get below. Yeah. And then times sine, so that it's allowed to be something high and negative, right? Yeah. Indeed. So now it should just stay 0, and now it should move counterclockwise. Although now the friction is way too high for it to move counterclockwise. If I say something like this, maybe. Yeah, very slowly. And obviously counterclockwise. It's easy to see now because, like in a version like this, it's a bit hard to see if this thing is even moving in counterclockwise or clockwise. Yeah, and then I make the friction small, like 1/10. Okay, so that if you have an angular acceleration of 1, I don't know, it's something in the middle now. Still really fast, okay. I mean, I'm accumulating the acceleration of each frame, so yeah, this obviously is really fast. I'm gonna quickly check out what happens if this is constant. If the acceleration is constant, the rotation will be whatever that is. cumulative. Yeah, I guess the foot. Oh, is that not 0, right? Oh yeah. The acceleration, yeah. Okay, that's really slow. Yeah, that's just barely enough to be counteracting to the friction sort of. So if I do this, I feel like it should get quicker and quicker or something because the it's so slow that's why. Oh yeah, so if the angular acceleration is something like 0.5, for example, that's a number that would fit. And 1 is probably really quick. Oh, okay, 1 is also okay. And something like 5 is sort of quick. Okay, so that should be the angular acceleration probably should be something like between 0.5 and 5 or something, or is it just 0? And if it's below 0.5, it's almost yeah, okay, it's rotating a little bit. Yeah, I mean, if it's 0.1, that's equivalent to nothing because the friction is so high. There you go. Sounds okay for me. Now I'm gonna take the position of the motor and it moves it. I'm trying to move the acceleration depending on the activation of the motor. I think times 1/10 maybe. I need to think a little bit about the kinds of numbers. Okay, so 5 is fast. 5 is fast and everything else is a little bit. So yeah. Take 10 frames. If the activation is 1, it takes 10 frames right now to get to 1, which is quite fast, I think, still. Because 10 frames is really, I have 30 frames per second, so it's only a third of a second to get to strong, solid rotation. Positive is clockwise. Okay, so right now I have bottom right, actually. Why does it not? Oh, it's too little, yeah. So activation 1 wouldn't rotate it, or 2 would start rotating it a little bit. And this also makes sense to me. This is the right. If I imagine the motor would be on the right of this animal right now, it would move like this, and then it's moving forward at the same time. Yeah, so it makes this curve. Maybe I'm gonna say, damn it. I guess I have to. I think this friction implementation is not good enough. I feel like maybe I should also have a relative one, not only a constant. So yeah, maybe this rotates it. No, yeah. Okay, now it's moving just a little, and it's rotating just a little. Okay, I think that's nice. Okay, that's sort of the slowest moving and rotating that you can achieve. And yeah, no, it would. Yeah, the vehicle is not capable of rotating on its sagittal axis. No, what is that? Coronal axis? No, forget. Mid-sagittal. No. Either way, it's not able to rotate without also making a curve. That's maybe different to bacteria, which I think can just rotate like that. But if you imagine a car that would be able to rotate on its center, so yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, this is this animal now moving in a slow way. Yeah, you know it's boring because it only moves as if one right motor was making it go in some circle like this. The motor is 10 times quicker, yeah, okay. It's jittering a little bit, but it's smooth to me, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is how it looks when it just moves, rotates counterclockwise. And if I change the motor to be on the left, yeah, now it moves in this direction, and if there's 2 motors like this, it should just go straight. Is that straight? Yeah, okay. And if one motor is stronger than the other, it should be somewhere in the middle, or it should... Yeah, okay. Now it's mostly going counterclockwise, but... Yeah, okay, yeah, now it's going a little bit counterclockwise, yeah. Can you... Now it's mostly going straight. Is that the case? Yeah, okay, it has quite a curve. So this will be the fascinating thing now, if later in the second chapter, if I have 2 motors and 2 sensors and they control each other, that would be kind of fascinating to see it go straight by these sensors controlling the rotation. That would be amazing to see that. But right now I have the... Do I have the book open? vehicle number 1 has one sensor. Yeah, vehicle number 2 will be quite interesting when I get to it. So for the moment, vehicle number 1. And then maybe I want to do something that doesn't go outside of the canvas. I'm sort of fine with it like going outside. I think that's natural to me. So yeah, maybe I ignore this for the moment. Okay, no card number 1. Okay, card number 1 never moves. Never moves by itself in a rotating thing, but it always only moves when its motor is active straight, and it relies on Brownian motion to actually not get stuck. Basically, as you would just get stuck and you wouldn't be somewhere where you want to be optimal, but your sensor would just be inactive and you wouldn't move at all. Also, you would never be able to rotate. So Brownian motion gives you the ability to rotate. Okay, that looks garbage right now. It's like this thing chittering around. I don't like this. Why? This isn't more. No, that makes it just faster to chitter like that. So the friction I added makes it not so aesthetic. Damn it. Oh, it's funny, it actually sort of finds this temperature thing right now. What if I just decay the velocity by 10%? Okay, for some reason it's way more smooth. It's way more smooth, only that now this Brownian rotation is quite strong, so I'm gonna go back to this. Yeah. Still sort of I'm gonna Gaussian here. I'm gonna make the narrowness of this Gaussian thing more narrow too. Yeah. So now mostly it keeps being straight, and then sometimes it decides to get a little bit more rotation. Okay. So that's random also doesn't have any purpose in life. So let's try to build in the purpose. Okay, so I'm thinking I want maybe to have to make chapter 1 complete. Braitenberg asks us to imagine a pond with temperature, and he says it's alive. Yeah, this already is more alive than just a particle, I think. Yeah, just the magic, I suppose. The magic of having the control systems producing the purpose of their wiring. It's the most fascinating thing, I think. Where does purpose come from? How do animals work? How do machines work if you make them think and stuff like that? It has some frictional forces, yeah, I have those. It will deviate, it will move in some complicated trajectory. Yeah, maybe I can add lines of like that moves, that would also be cute. It's quite stupid. It's not able to turn back to a nice cold spot, yes. Where does it come with this temperature? Our vehicle may even come to rest. That's true, the sensor is just 0 if I wouldn't have Brownian motion. Okay, I'm measuring the temperature. It's the simplest connection that you can have, a one-to-one, from sensor to effector motor. Okay, in order to get these temperature fields, I was thinking maybe I make temperature zones, and then maybe I have like a few warm ones or something, and some cold ones, and everything else is sort of in the middle, and then, yeah, let's see. Maybe this will turn out great. I'm gonna make a circle, entity, a circle, and then the temperature has a temp and a pos. And then we can yeah, it would be kind of cute if I would have the color interpolated between blue and red depending on the temperature or something. I think I can... Welcome to the latest advances of my Vehicle 1. Now I added a little shine that makes a bit more sense. When something is active, it's gonna go back and forth between this cyan and this yellow. And I added some temperature fields. Green is sort of in between, blue is cold, and red is warm. I don't know, maybe the color sounds so great, I can't tell which one is. Well, this one is cold, this one is warm, I think, so yeah, I guess it's fine. The vehicle, yeah, it looks like this. And I can play around with, say, the sensor picks up a temperature of 10, this thing is gonna go. Boy. Oh, why is it so slow? Whoop, okay. Yeah, 10 is quick, then you see it blinking. Yeah, so 5 is something in between, 5 is relatively quick, I guess. Later on I want to have some visualizations where they're, I guess, quite a bit quicker, maybe even something like that. Yeah, but I'm not there yet. Right now I still need to build the logic. So, yes, now I want to take, I have the sensor position and an environment. The environment includes some temperature zones. And now I want to say, give me all the temperature zones at this position, and then I take the overlapping ones. I guess this function maybe works, and then I'm gonna count up the temperature, and that's gonna be my temperature sensor. Let's see. There's something missing here. That is the rare case with a unbalanced balance fix. The balanced balance fix. Yeah. Okay, so environment, temperature zones, filter, and now. Yes, a temperature zone is a temperature, a radius, and it has an origin as its position. And then I'm gonna say point inside circle, and point is my sensor bus. And this is the origin, and then the radius. Let's see. So maybe I just print out the ones that I'm overlapping with. Printing temp maybe. Temp is something between -1 and 1, so. Yeah, I just make the sensor today, whatever, somehow making it make some sense. Yeah, filter the temp zones, and then reduce. Yeah, map the temp, reduce plus. So I just accumulate all the zones, and this doesn't compile yet. Oh, that's not too many. That's still not good. It's not a function yet. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm overlapping with something. Okay, that's already wrong. Oh yeah, I want to get rid of this additional print. Okay. Okay, so sensor origin R. I guess it doesn't work like that. ChatGPT help me. Point inside circle. Doesn't work. Radius, math power, 3 parameters, point, Euclidean distance from the point of the circle is less or equal than the radius. The sensor pos. Maybe I print out everything once and then, yeah. Maybe I start having an idea why. So the sensor pos moves around, and I'm gonna make a single temp zone maybe for the moment. Okay. That's correct, it's not inside the temp zone. A temp zone, yeah. If I make them really big. Okay, now it's overlapping. Okay, this is correct. So I have something that is not obviously wrong and obviously not correct. Maybe I'm gonna spawn the temp zone at that's I think the same place that the sensor spawns. Yeah, okay, that's inside. Yeah. It's correct in that state, and now maybe I'm gonna make it move. I guess it's actually already sort of staying in this cold one right now, which is kind of promising. Okay, let me quickly hack it so it's moving away. What? It's hard to figure out. Oh, no, it's warm, it's actually moving quicker. Nice. It already turns out great. Okay, so now the circle, it's the no, maybe I make a mistake with math power. This was like as if it was the diameter instead of the radius or something. How do I know it's the radius? Because I say width and height to the ellipses. just need to divide this by 2. That's correct. Temp. It's not moving quick though. It is. Oh, I guess it's that. Oh yeah. Let it move. Oh, point is inside. And to move away. Oop. Oh, I commented this out. Oh yeah, so now it's inside some. Oh, okay, let's make it move away. Yeah. I think that was. I don't know, made sense. Divide by 2. I guess maybe I don't have the radius but the diameter. I can rename this to D. Origin D. Okay, so vehicle number 1 is stuck in a cold region because I'm actually making the motor even have a negative activation, which I think is that's fine. I just want to update vehicle number 1 so it moves around a little bit more. So how do I do it? I'm gonna say that the sensor just says 1. Or the sensor, okay, the sensor becomes negative. I could stick another neuron in between, but then I'm not vehicle number 1 anymore. So maybe the okay, if I give it a function here, then I'm cheating as well, I guess. Sensor just has some. That's the temperature sensor. Okay. Yeah, I guess at some point I will need to. Yeah, at some point I have more connections, so I can put in a second thing here that will make the motor more active. But yeah, actually, the spirit of vehicle 1 is actually that the Brownian motion takes care of some of the movement. So since the Brownian motion is already doing the rotation, if the Brownian motion would just be a bit more powerful. Still nothing. Still nothing? Why that? I would have thought. Does this cancel each other out? No. Say Brownian motion. I'm surprised that the card doesn't have any velocity from the Brownian motion right now. Do I make negative velocity? So is it moving? Oh no, it's moving a little, yeah. It's still so little. Okay, now it's trying to randomly move. But it's stuck at 0, so that's why it wants to move like this, but I'm making it stuck at 0, so it's reality. Yeah. Oh. That really doesn't look so good. This is also not Brownian motion. Brownian motion should also be able to go the other way. I thought negative velocity doesn't make sense. Okay. I'm gonna revise this assumption, clamp velocity. I'm gonna delete this. So now it's also allowed to go back and forth. Okay. That actually looks like Brownian motion a bit more now. But it's so. I'm surprised. It's almost. Oh yeah, now it's moving away. Somehow it's. It's all stuck at one place. Okay, now it's. Yeah, it's trying to. It looks like it's indecisive. Yeah, because its complete motion is completely random. I wish it would. I wish it would move a bit more. Yeah. Okay, but it's moving indecisively. Okay. And then if I would have the I'm gonna say that the sensor. I'm gonna make it just. I'm gonna calculate the activation with this temperature, and that is, say, it just bottoms out at 1, and then it bottoms out at 0 right now. If I say plus temp, because temp is between -1 and 1, so 0, and 0. Okay, let's see what that will do. And sensitivity is a. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have so big of an effect. Maybe I bring back sensitivity, okay. Times sensitivity. I'm not even sure if that's the correct concept to call sensitivity, I think. Maybe it is. Okay, so 10, yeah, okay, that makes it move. That really makes it move. Okay. But now it just pretends to. It really wants to move forward. No. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing would be if it hits on a red one and then goes fast, and now, yeah, this would be the mode where it's sort of searching a bit. Presumably, yeah, it's it still goes forward. so it doesn't search so much. Yeah. I could also say I ignore negative. So now temp, by the way, yeah, 0. Here's 0, the sensor is just 0. So it doesn't know where to go. Yeah, maybe I'm adding more. Say repeatedly 10 random temp zone. Okay, 10 random temp zones. Now it's on a code button, I guess. Yeah, I feel like it's not moving so fast right now. I know it escaped. Okay, so maybe I can delta time queue and tick divided by 1000 times 3. Yeah, times 3, speed up the speed. Yeah. Well, it's kind of... It for sure goes into the direction of what we're thinking about here. Yeah, I sort of have this vision. I'm spawning I'm spawning maybe a lot of them. Maybe I can just randomly start spawning a lot of them. I can cut card number 1. Let me say that the card spawns at a position. This is an argument. Okay, and then I'm gonna say concat. Concat identity, for example. Okay, now 10 card 1 and then a random position again. I'm gonna give this a name. Run on canvas. And a card has a random position. Didn't work. Invalid arity number 1 because this is not a function. No. Okay, let's without any cards. Repeatedly, 10 times, call this function. Pos. Card pos. No, yeah, card has already a pos. No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I get the feeling this is like some animals on a pond maybe, or some insects. Yeah, they're very clunky in a way, sort of these machine things. They move so staccato, like, is that a word? Is that a word? Staccato? It's got a name. How is it called to move very abruptly? Yeah, abruptly. Jerk, yeah, they're jerking around, that's true. Staccato, is that a word? Staccato. Very abrupt. Staccato. Lurch, lunge, flit, dart. Yeah, darting would be cool. If they would dart. Spurt, dash, spring, search, hurdle, leap. No. Yeah, if they would dart around. Okay, maybe I'm gonna try to add this acceleration, because that randomly made it nice for the rotation. Yeah. So maybe the velocity just has this problem a little bit. Maybe it didn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna commit everything. Okay, and now instead of updating the velocity, I'm gonna update the angular velocity. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. And here it's also the angular velocity. Oops. I meant acceleration. Oops. Actually, don't do this so much. Emacs query replace. Yeah, replace velocity with acceleration. Yes, but not here, and here doesn't matter. Here, friction reduces the velocity and the acceleration, I guess. Card has a velocity, so this doesn't matter. Update velocity, no. Update acceleration. Okay, update position. That takes the... I'm gonna say... It has a velocity and it has an acceleration. Yes, and then the new velocity is delta time times acceleration plus the old velocity. Okay, and then I have updated the velocity. Yeah. Update position. Wait a sec. Yeah, velocity. Yeah, okay. I'm calculating a new velocity from the acceleration and the last velocity, then I calculate a new position based on the rotation and the velocity. And I remember the velocity for next time. Okay. So, maybe I'm gonna look at the single one just. Yeah, okay. What do I expect? I feel like it's smooth. In some ways it's smooth. I mean, this could be way more like jittery. I know from developing earlier versions. But still, it's so. Oh, that was cute. I liked how it made this little. Yeah, this. I like when it's decisive. So maybe if I like the decisiveness, then but this doesn't help me. If I just make it move forward, it just moves outside of the screen and so on. Yeah, maybe what I really want are the level 2, the chapter 2 vehicles, because they are more decisive. Yeah, I guess they can be caught. Yeah, those ones can be quite a bit smaller. This doesn't work. What? I thought this is a scale. This doesn't have any effect. No, it doesn't have any effect. I'm not using the scale when I... yeah, that's true. I'm not using it here. Times the scale... no, we'll have to think. How did it work? Okay, first of all, okay. Or maybe there should be something that zooms in or something. Yeah, true. That would be so cool that you zoom into one and then you follow it, like in Dungeon Keeper, you click on one dude and then you follow him. And then I could draw more complicated circuits of its brain. Yeah. Okay, so that is, yeah. And yes, it's already quite good. Now these things, they need to scale with the scale, so I didn't implement this yet here, that the scale of a component, I'm just taking the scale of the parent. Okay. Yeah, okay. Now I have these huge... Oh, the scale, that also changes the... yeah. That is, when I say... Like, the origin sort of is now down here, so this motor should appear down there, right? That is, parent pos. Is it as easy as saying times the parent scale plus the parent position plus the relative position? Maybe times the scale. Will it work? Maybe I need to divide by 2 or something. Times the scale. Oh, it doesn't work. Scale, oops. Clean my keyring. Scale, rotate point, scale, what's the problem? Must be numbers, got a vector, oops. That's a point, rotate point. Oh, it's annoying I don't have vector math. Times, maybe times. That's what I need. Not entirely sure. Oh, this was what I needed. Nice. This feels kind of cool. So now I set card scale, and I'm building a card, hardcoding a scale, so one puts them back, and I'm gonna make them smaller. Okay, yeah. That's like when you're in a microscope, it goes to 20. Instead of 40x, you go to 20x. Now you see the cells like this. So this was a semi-magic moment for me right now to have this connection with the microscopy. It's kind of cool. So 100. Whoa, okay, oh. Does it like not quick? Ah! I guess I have too many calculations now. Okay. But maybe I don't need to, maybe I don't need 100. Okay, this was a little bit what I was imagining. It's going into the right direction here. Okay, one thing would be funny if they would leave behind a little trail. Just, I'm gonna, okay, fix the scale. If they would leave behind, do they get stuck in the cold ones? I just watched this one going back and forth, being on the side. Whoa, no, it randomly decided to move. It would be kind of cool to see one going into a red one and then having like the sensors going wild, because yeah, the sensors actually blink quite a bit when the activation is high. If I would just imagine the temp always being 10 or something. Yeah, they blink quite a bit, huh? And then they move away. But they are little cards. Yeah, when they decide to move straight, they look good, I think. Maybe they should decide to move straight more, and then... Ah, damn it, I almost want to go and already implement, like, taxes or something. That's when bacteria decide that now they want to tumble, and they rotate around, and else they move quite straight. So it's a more refined way of moving around in the world. Instead of some baseline rotation, that doesn't make so much sense. Yeah, okay, in the next ones, I guess. Now it would be kind of cute to build them. Oh, is this one going faster because it's in red? No. Oh, this one is really sticking in the cold one, I feel like, right now. No, it escaped. And it's moving away. But yeah, this already, yeah, maybe I would actually call this like a successful vehicle number 1 thing. Although I don't see them, maybe I can make this effect stronger, that they... Okay, I'm gonna make Brownian factor, even though you could call it temperature. Okay, I'm gonna make a low Brownian factor. Okay, that's what it's called. Times Brownian factor controls. I call it default controls as well. Default controls, and I'm setting controls not into the state. Okay, then we set controls into the state. Okay, controls in the state. And then there's a function called controls. Yeah, it takes the state. Okay, getting around. Oh yeah, so controls, and then Brownian factor. Okay, times the Brownian factor. Okay, so now the Brownian factor is almost nothing. Okay, they're really docile. Yeah, now they sort of, yeah, that's how it looks when they have a little bit of Brownian. Motion. They wiggle a little, but more or less they stay at the same place because it sort of cancels itself out where they move. So since Brownian factors are really small, they have a small space of where they're moving around. Yeah, they look like flies grazing on a piece of agar, I think. Very peaceful. And then the temperature sensor, where's that sensor? Is that temperature code? Okay, let's make it more sensitive. Does this do? Oh, yeah, yes! Okay, this is really now pronounced the effect that I'm going for that. Okay, maybe I want one thing, temp zone. The temperature zones, okay, first of all, I'm just gonna make them bigger. Okay, and then, I don't know, it looks kind of ugly. It just looks... Maybe I should make the background black and... Oh, that's... Oh. Yes, making the background black is already a great... And now I'm gonna make the temp zones... something else. I'm just gonna make the temp zones either... something, I don't know yet. I'm gonna make the temperature zones... Right now I'm lurping between those two colors and whatever, it's not so great. This here is red. This is white. I don't know, white. I know they're red. So, no, they're different kinds of reds. That's actually not so bad. Only it's flipped. Huh. Okay, and then maybe putting in the Brownian, making a bit more Brownian factor again. Yeah, that is a bit lower, so. Okay, now I really see some like escaping the current red. Yeah. So here he's like he's more docile at where he's at. Yeah, here they also get docile. No, these things still overlap, so this looks red, but it's not a red apparently. This one's really red. Maybe I'm gonna make the temperature. I'm gonna make it not confusing, and the temperature is. What is that? Why did I decide to make this negative? Okay. Because I thought the neutral zones, they need to be neutral somehow. I'm just gonna make the temperature between 0 and 10. Okay, so this is quite a bit of a different thing now. And temp zone between negative and no, just say, yeah, give the color between, yeah, some red and some, okay. Wait, now everything is sort of red. The temp is too big, so normalize value. So yeah, I should have said 10 here, right? 10 is 1, yeah. And 5 is 0.5, yeah, okay. I should have said 10 here. Oh yeah, whoa. Okay, that is. I'm gonna put this into the controls. Price temp. 10 is really high. Okay, so I'm gonna go with 5. I think even 3 is maybe good. Random temperature zone. Okay, run with the controls. Max temp. Oh, they're all gone. I guess they all captured some red one and just moved away. Yeah, normalize. Position, diameter, temp, max temp. I think it would make sense if I pass in the max temp another time here as well. Okay. Does it work? Unable to find controls because I'm just setting up the state. I'm setting up the state. Don't have controls yet. The fuck. Okay, then I pass in the controls. And no expansion point. Oh shit. Okay, and then this is a function. Let's work. Yeah, okay. Yep, this is super fast when they find something hot. Yeah, they just move away. they just completely peace out. Okay, so max temp 5 is still really hot. So I'm gonna say 2 even maybe. Okay, yeah, but they really evade that. 1. Yeah, that's a bit. And then why is it red? Because I don't know how these colors work. 20. Can I do 30? Yeah, 30 also fine. Okay, I like this. I like this quite a bit. That's not really showing you how vehicle number 1 works, I think. Yeah. Okay. They basically like the neutral space right now because I did bother with cold spots. Yeah. It just moved into the group. It's a bit like in some racing game when you go over like a special spot. Okay, I could since these temperature zones have so much effect now, I'm gonna make them smaller. Yeah, go back to 300. Okay. Now the temp zones are so static. Everything's so static except for the. Except for the little vehicles. I could give the temp zones some Brownian motion. Yeah. Why shouldn't the temp zones have some Brownian motion themselves? Brownian motion is only for cards. I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't want to model the sub components of the card, so I'm gonna say something like this moves Brownian. So yeah, it's crossing my mind to call this a particle. So I can also say that card 1 is a particle. Yeah, that even makes a little bit of sense. Because later on they're not particles anymore. But card 1 is a particle, and these temp zones are also particles. Let's see what that will do. And then Brownian motion. Oh shit. Card A. If not particle, then A and that's Brownian motion. Okay, it's quite a bit more dynamic. Okay, now I wonder if I can prevent them from moving away, or kill them when they move around and then spawn new ones, yeah. Or I give them a lifetime again, like the circus I did recently. Okay, I'm gonna try lifetime. Update lifetime. Okay, that kills an entity. When it has lifetime. Oops. I wanted to say entities here. Okay. Okay, so that happens in getting around somewhere, not set up. Yeah, set up in update state in the end. Yes. And okay, then card 1 just has a lifetime. Okay, let's quickly die with 10. Yeah, that will die really quick. Oh, it's like the things. It's the graveyards. Oh, that's super cool. They're more active than on the red ones. Oh, that's so cool. Oh shit. That's like a static version of showing off how it works. Damn. That's so cool. Holy shit. Okay, so the sensors, the entities die and the sensors survive. That's actually kind of cool. It's like in video games, sometimes you have a body being left behind by a thing when it dies. It would be kind of funny to spawn to, yeah. I could, I have an idea what I can do. Yeah, remove it. Yeah, I can. I say, give me all the dead ones. Yes, I say, give me all the dead ones. Okay, first I'm also gonna step the lifetime ones. So this is this part. Okay, map entities. I'm not sure why this is complicated. Yeah, if lifetime, update the lifetime deck. Yeah. Okay, so these are the updated entities, and the dead entities are... I'm gonna quickly write this function. Entity lifetime, and then some entity lifetime smaller than 1. Yes. Filter the dead ones, and then just from intuition, I think that is a set of entity IDs. Okay. Can make a transducer here. Make a transducer, and then take the entities. Okay, these are the dead entities, and now I give you a new entities list with the dead one removed, and with all the subcomponents of the dead ones. They now have a lifetime of a little bit, so that their corpses leave behind a bit. Whatever. Why did I bother? I know I'm so far. Okay, let's put this corpse thing in. It's really easy to do. So first of all, remove the one that are dead. Now map. Yeah, either I take how I'm modeling the subcomponents. An entity has components. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's gonna be easier if I give it a name, like components of that and then, never mind, actually take the entities here. And then components of that is like, okay, map cut components of the dead entities, and my body into a set. I just really want this. Not good at the typing, getting there. Okay, so for each entity, if it is a component of that, I'm gonna give it a lifetime now. 20, yeah. Okay, this is the entity. And then I'm gonna also remove that. This is the set. Of all the dead entity IDs. Yes. Okay, remove that ID. Okay, it doesn't work because undeclared var lib components of that. Yeah, the components don't die yet. I made some mistake. Assoc A lifetime. Entities. Okay, so components of that is never true. That's already IDs, I think. Yeah. Like this. Okay. You know, if I want to have some corpses for 20 frames. Okay, I don't know why I thought this was correct. I mean, I thought the concept of a corpse was just great. Okay. So 100 views, not a lot. Maybe can be 10 times more. Yeah, now they suddenly die all. Yeah, now I could spawn them again here in this middle. This would have some effect. I'm thinking, yeah, I could spawn them randomly everywhere. It's a bit strange. Oh, no, they all died. Yes, let me spawn them. Okay, there's random canvas and there's random canvas goes with a distribution or something. And that's not rand int, but that is normal distribution starting at the width divided by 2, yes, and then with a distribution of this distribution times the width. Will that do anything useful? 0 will say 0, 1 will say the whole width. Does it work like that? Or should I say divide by 2? I'm not entirely sure how distribution works actually. No, the distribution just says how thick is the thing, so is it the whole width, then distribution is 1. Okay, no, wait, yeah. Or should it be divided by 2? Maybe I can try out and see what it's doing when I do it then. Okay, and then the same with height. Okay, rand on canvas goes. Okay, so it should be like in the middle, depending on how high the distribution is. So I'm gonna try to make the cards not random canvas, but random canvas goes with 1. That looked quite random. Oh, okay, that's already. I was expecting this kind of to look like this, a little bit like some kind of ant simulation or something, where they spawn at home or something, like in a nest. So it looks to me they're spawning in a nest right now. And some of them get crazy from the red. It's a strange world of red big bubbles having effects on the animals that, and then they die. And they spawn in the middle. No, they can spawn quite a bit further, I think. Oh, they make a rectangle right now. Yeah, and then I'm gonna give them a little bit less lifetime and update state. Where are we? Here. I'm gonna spawn a few. Yeah, update entities. Cut. And and maybe I actually only spawn one per frame, is already quite a bit. Oops. One day, figure that out. Okay. Okay, and then why did I second cut? I guess I can't make a new one. Once per frame. It's 30 guys every second though. Yeah, now there's. Oh. I have a bug here. State assoc. Oh, I accidentally deleted. Oh, did I? Is that an error? Yeah. Key for assoc must be a number. The fuck? Ah, wait, count is a list of entities. True. Oh, yeah. That's too many. Oh man, make it stop. Make it stop. No. Add one with a random. Okay, concat, and then I'm gonna say my cut identity to concatenate that again, catenate it, and here I'm gonna say repeatedly, and then I'm gonna say +1, and then a normal solution. Oh wait, that has a mean of. Oh wait, this look good. Repeat. Usually 0 and then sometimes 1. That's what I want. I'm just gonna say round. Yeah, I'm gonna say round. I'm just gonna say if round is bigger than 0.8, so 20% of the time, 20% of the frames. This will be quite a bit. Yeah, 0. Okay, it doesn't. Has still quite a lot. I'm gonna make this even smaller. Yeah. Okay, now there's these animals flying around a bit. And then you make the. Oh no, a lot of them died, yeah. Oh, that's a bug. Where did they all die? Oh, no, there's no. Color. Gauss circles. Connection line. Update con line. Cleanup connections dysfunction, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up connections somewhere before I draw, maybe. And update state and getting around. Update lifetime and then. Yeah, okay. Fix the bug. Update state. Okay. Now they're sort of spawning every now and then. Oh, really not a lot. Whoa, still really not a lot. Fuck. No, I'm surprised. Ah. Yeah, they spawn and they die instantly. Yeah, but that's way too many anyway. That's too many. More than I can handle with my calculation right now. Yeah, okay. Why does this get more violent? Ah, just because it's getting more laggy, I think. Okay, 40 was off, okay. Yeah, it's kind of fast. I made that 3 times as fast. Let's just go double. Yeah, it's doing it a little bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they certainly evade the red bubbles basically. Well, it looks a bit more like they get activated by the red bubbles somehow. That's a bit more like it looks for me, like little cards. And I got that lifetime. Cards that just the moment they find the red one, they get quickened. Yeah, they blink a little bit. Okay, if I split my eyes, I really see them looking, yeah, more or less, almost like bacteria. Could be a bit more, yeah, it's quite diluted. Could be a little bit more. If I would look under the microscope and see bacteria, I would probably see more like this. Unless I dilute it. Yeah, and then, I mean, and then the scale of card 1. Damn it. So yeah, if I would make this bigger, yeah, it's a bit like increasing the magnification in the microscope. It's kind of funny. So when I make card 1, yeah, I'm making a card, yeah, then I take the controls and it doesn't work because I pass in the controls, so I'm lazy. Nobody's gonna code review what I'm doing. Yes, I'm gonna define another dynamic like this because yeah, I guess sometimes it's just fine to do that. Although, yeah, now it's getting messy though. I have multiple ways to get the same controls. And I can't... Could make the scale random, but that's not the aesthetic I'm going for right now. But yeah, I would, for the heck of it, let's see how it would look. Because it's so easy. Plus... it's really great once I... Okay, this is really big. Yeah, now re-zoom in. That's really small. Yeah, that's... It's like the motherships. If they would now have some pheromones to track their mother or something, they would like follow it or something. Kind of funny. Wow, it's so satisfying to watch them go into the red and then this thing, the sensors go on like that. That really sort of, yeah, more or less works. I guess I'll play around again with the thing, with the aesthetics, trying out different things a little bit. But the default algorithm is there. I would say I can, for example, make them more rounded. Fuck, I just realized that. Oh, it's hard coded here right now. Doesn't do much. No, that doesn't have any effect. I feel like. R. 50. Is it now completely round? Ah, yeah. It looks quite different. It's way more like an bacterium right now. It looks quite a bit different from Braitenberg's original. But yeah, isn't this the modern thing? You have rounded corners. And then why am I making this? It's orange. It's yellow. I always like this pink color. Give me pink in... Oh, come on, man. More precise, please. 300. I think I really done this. Oh man, it's so not pink. What the fuck? These color pickers are also garbage somehow. Okay, how do I get pink? Is it pink? I guess my screen is too orange, I don't see it. Can quickly kill redshift. Ah, that's... Yeah, this is what I want. This would be... Whoa, oh, I'm blinded. Holy shit, it's so blue. I'm gonna quickly go back to running that again. Okay. 308. And then 759. See. Oh, that's this. Ah. What? Is that hour? No. Okay, I guess I'm getting confused now by color. I thought I'm supporting this array like this, but I'm also supporting... No. Don't see a difference. It's black now? Yeah, okay. That makes a difference. It makes a difference. Maybe it's what I want. It's kind of red. try around a little bit. Naja, I leave it, and I don't make the scale random. Scale, I should have this card one. Scale. Yeah, passing in the scale here. And here the scale comes from the controls. Controls, card one. Oh yeah, only them into there, sort of. Yeah, I think they really shouldn't be red. Red is just garbage. Trying some other color. It all just looks red. Maybe that's my screen, I'm sure. Okay, this really doesn't look red. Okay, it's green. Yeah, green. Okay, what color is that? It's just the same green. Sensors are already cyan, so it would be a bit lame. Hue. $260 isn't some magenta somehow. Maybe it's like really dark magenta now because the saturation is high as well. No, it's like red. 266. I thought it's basically magenta. It's really red, I don't know. Well, it looks a bit garbage, but I leave it. Can also go back to the grey background. Yeah, they're indecisive, then they find a red bubble and they go. I like that they start snapping around with their sensors and motors that they have visual. It's great. But yeah, this is yeah, this is already quite promising. I think this is already basically the best. Okay, I don't want to go too far out of the window now, but I think from all Braitenberg Vehicle simulations I have seen, I think this is the most modern. Let's say it like this. At least from the aesthetics. Maybe my implementation is just horrible, but I feel like it's doing its job. Yeah, okay. So now I have a red bubble detector sensor, and yeah, this thing actually has a brain. The brain is the simplest brain possible. It's one connection. I didn't even need to implement the function brain yet. I didn't need to because I put everything into entities and then I had connection. I'm filtering the connections here, so. Yeah, for at some point there's maybe something where you say brain and then connection. Yeah. And then you have like a few of those. Yeah. At some point, yes. So yeah, you can literally watch one and wait for it to find a bubble. Yeah, do it. Didn't matter so much in that case. Yes, no, it's yep, no, good. Excited. Got excited by. Yeah, almost. Yeah, no, oh, now it's getting excited, and then it moves away. Wow, amazing. And then they move around a little if they're outside of the bubbles. Yeah. Could make the bubbles move around. Yeah, later I would maybe want to spawn them in a circle and have them all move. Sort of, I don't know, making basically visual trippy things out of this animal algorithms. That would be kind of funny to me. But yeah, they really look like, okay, I'm observing a microscopic world. Like these things are sort of active bacteria in some active medium. Yeah, it's nice. I like where this is going. Peace out. See you soon. Code with heart. Do great things.